Okay, question 2. We've got a scattergraph. The scattergraph shows information about 10 apartments in a city. The graph shows the distance from the city centre and the monthly rent of each apartment. So monthly rent's there, and you've got distance from the city centre going along the x-axis, given in kilometres. The table shows the distance from the city centre and the monthly rent for 2 other apartments. So here's your 2 other apartments. You've got this apartment here that is 2 kilometres from the centre and the monthly rent of £250, and another one which is 3.1 kilometres from the city centre and has a monthly rent of £190. On the scattergraph, part A, plot the information from the table. So we're going to take that and just put it onto the graph. So, use a pencil. There we go. Don't want to make a mistake. Well, if we do, we can rub it out. So, distance from the city centre 2, go up to 250, which is there. Put a cross. Now the other one, distance from the city centre is 3.1. Be careful now. You got 3 there, you got 4 there, with 10 little squares in between. So every one is going to be a 0.1. So 3.1 is there, going along 1, and we need to go up to 190. Again, we've got 10 squares in between going up. It goes up in hundreds, so every little square this way is going to be worth 10. So that is going to be 1 little square away from 200. So that's there. That's the fairly easy part. If I make a mistake, feel free to leave a comment to tell me. Okay, so that's A done. We've plotted our 2 points. B, describe the relationship between the distance from the city centre and the monthly rent. Now at this point you might want to draw your line of best fit, but I think I'll save that for now. You can see that it's going down like that, which is a negative correlation. So I'm going to write negative correlation. That is the relationship. But if you want, you can say the actual relationship in real terms, which is that as the distance from the city centre increases, the monthly rent decreases. I'm not going to write that down, but you could have written that as well. Okay, so next part C, find an estimate for the monthly rent for this apartment. An apartment, sorry, is 2.8 kilometres from the city centre. Very important to read every single part. Okay, so find an estimate for the monthly rent for this apartment that is 2.8 kilometres from the city centre. What we're going to do now is we're going to draw our line of best fit. Now the line of best fit isn't an exact science at the moment, not in GCSE anyway. It just needs to go in the same direction as all the points, and you want roughly the same amount on either side. You don't have to count them all, but it's going to be roughly done like this. So you can see it's going in that direction. It's roughly the same amount on each side. So I'm going to just draw a line down there, like that. Okay, there's my line of best fit. And I'm going to use that for this question. 2.8 kilometres from the city centre, so that is 2 squares away from 3. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line from here up to my line of best fit, and as soon as it touches the line of best fit, you go across and it will reveal the monthly rent estimate, which I have as 220. Now the mark scheme for this will allow anything in between 200 and 260. What happens is the examiner might have an overlay which will give you a certain range for the line of best fit. Having said that, they probably don't, because they didn't actually in the question ask you to draw a line of best fit, they just expect you to.